Congratulations on the purchase of your new 900 series rigid or flexible platform. We hope your new platform will make your harvest season more enjoyable and productive. There are only two things consistent about harvesting. It comes at almost the same time of the year, and each year will be different. As conditions change from year to year, combine adjustments become critical in achieving the highest level of productivity and the best grain quality possible. By paying close attention to your combine and taking the time to observe and make adjustments when needed, achieving top productivity with minimal grain damage can be a simple task. Maximizer combines have 5 basic functions that work together as a team to deliver clean, high-quality grain to the tank with minimal field loss. They are cutting and feeding, thrashing, separating, cleaning, and grain handling. These 5 functions are all important in achieving grain perfection and maximum capacity. These details are covered in the video Harvesting as It Should Be you received with your Maximizer combine. Even with your combine properly set, no matter what crop you're harvesting, top performance starts right up front with the header equipment. John Deere recognizes the key to platform performance is adaptability. Productive features and easy adjustments let you match header equipment to different crops, ground speeds, and harvesting conditions, even different conditions within the same field. This video will help you understand the basic principles and adjustments of the cutting and feeding functions of your Maximizer combine as it relates to your new 900 series platform. Your operator's manual is the first source for adjustment information. It gives solutions to most performance problems as well as important information concerning your safety around the combine. Be certain to follow the manual's directions for checks and instructions, service intervals, and operating procedures before and during your harvest season. Always be certain to review the safety section at the front of the manual. Knowing safety information and various safety instructions on the platform could save you from injury or death. Remember, before making adjustments or checks outside the combine, shut it off and remove the key. Use the safety stop on the header lift cylinder or lower the header to the ground. The functional areas of your platform are interdependent. If one area is out of adjustment, it can affect the performance of other areas. Capacity and grain quality will be sacrificed. Platform adjustments can be grouped into 3 basic areas. They are the cutter bar, the reel, and the auger. We'll examine each adjustment as it relates to the 900 series rigid or flexible platform. Because material flows through the combine from front to rear, the various adjustments will be discussed beginning at the front. Remember, one function relates to the next, so the adjustments should always be made in this sequence. All platform adjustments must be made with the platform attached to the combine that it will be used on. It is also very important to level the platform on the combine using the shims provided on the feeder house prior to making platform adjustments. Correct tire pressure is also a must. Let's start with the cutter bar. As the reel draws crop toward the platform, the stalks are cut by Duralite knife sections driven by a counterbalanced gearbox that takes the shake and clatter out of even the widest cutter bars. The results? Less vibration to eliminate crop shatter. There are 6 adjustments that can be made to optimize cutting performance of the knife. If not properly adjusted, a tearing rather than cutting action will occur, causing uneven delivery to the auger. Lost crop due to skipping will also be present. Excessive wear to all related cutting parts will also exist if all adjustments are not correct. The 6 adjustments are cutter bar tilt, vertical knife position, knife register, wear plate position, hold down clips, and guard alignment. The first adjustment that needs to be made is cutter bar tilt. The tilt adjustment is made for platform cutter bar skid plate to ground relationship. It is an adjustment made to compensate for tire size and other variables, but must be used to make the cutter bar straight. If this adjustment is made on a flex platform, the skid plates must be locked out prior to making this adjustment. This lockout procedure must also be done when the flex platform is used to harvest standing crops such as wheat or oats. Raise the platform to maximum height and lower the safety stop. Starting at either end, push up on the skid plates and install the round head bolt, lockout washer, and nut. Continue across the bottom of the platform until all skid plates are locked out. Then, tighten all the hardware securely. To adjust the tilt, loosen the jam nut and adjust the bolt until 3/4 of an inch of bolt is showing between the nut and the bottom of the tilt pin. Make this adjustment on both the right and left-hand skid plates. Stretch a string from both ends of the platform along the tips of the cutter bar guards to line them up. Adjust the remaining skid plates until the cutter bar is straight. If a cutter bar tilt change is required after making the initial adjustments, loosen all jam nuts and turn all adjusting bolts equal turns until desired tilt is achieved. For dry conditions, turn the adjusting bolts in to tilt the front downward. For soft or wet conditions, turn the adjusting bolts out to tilt the front upward. The vertical position of the knife should be adjusted so the first knife section rests lightly on the guard without binding. Loosen the cap screw, position the knife, and retorque to 120 foot-pounds or 165 Newton meters. The knife register is set at the factory and does not require adjustment unless the drive arm is removed from the yoke shaft. Loosen the yoke shaft at maximum clockwise rotation. The first full knife section must be centered on the inner prong of the first knife guard. The wear plates are located along the entire length of the knife back and are adjustable for wear. The back of the wear plates must line up with the knife back along its entire length. Loosen the hardware and pull the knife forward. Position the wear plates forward in the slots, parallel against the knife back. The left-hand wear plate closest to the knife head should be positioned rearward in the slots and parallel against the knife back. Tighten all hardware to 45 foot-pounds or 62 Newton meters. Knife hold-down clips keep the knife sections from lifting off the guards and permit the knife to slide freely without binding. Using a hammer, tap the clips down until the knife sections slide freely without binding. Rock guards must also be aligned to the knife sections to assure good shearing action. Using a hammer, tap the end of the guards up, down, or side to side to obtain slight contact with the knife sections. The shear edge of the knife must be parallel with the bottom surface of the knife sections. The knife must be able to travel freely without binding on the guards. The adjustable fore and aft cutter bar on the platform, rigid only, is shipped in the mid position. This position is recommended for most crops and conditions. Some harvesting conditions require the cutter bar to be repositioned. You may find that the extended position works better in extremely tall or extremely short crop. The retracted position is available if crops are down, tangled, wet, or heavily weeded. If the cutter bar requires repositioning, remove the knife drive belt. Then remove the 3 bolts and loosen the 2 bolts on each end sheet. Remove the hardware from all tilt channels. Remove the center 2 skid plates on the 918, 925, and 930 platforms, or the center 3 skid plates on the 920 and 922 models. Then, remove the 4 bolts through the floor. Lower the platform to the ground and drive the combine slowly forward to retract the floor, or drive the combine slowly in reverse to extend the floor. When the floor is in the desired position, install the skid plates and tighten all the hardware. Then reposition the knife drive belt. Now, let's look at the reel. Your metric light reel is fully adjustable to ensure optimum speed, height, and fore and aft position. The reel speed should be dictated by the ground speed of the combine. The rotation of the reel should be slightly greater than the rotation of the drive tires. If your combine is equipped with dial-a-speed, the automatic control will not work if the ground speed is less than 0.75 miles per hour. For ground speeds less than 0.75, use the manual speed switch. There is a speed ratio sensor with dial-a-speed located on the right-hand side that has an adjustment feature. Loosen the two jam nuts and adjust the sensor until it touches the tone wheel. Then back off the sensor 1/2 turn. The dial-a-speed function will not work if the sensor is misadjusted. Reel height should be leveled and adjusted to assure trouble-free performance. Adjust the reel height with the reel fully retracted. Remove the quick pin and turn the bolt to the desired location. The reel height must be checked with the reel positioned directly above the cutter bar. Pickup reels should have a minimum clearance of 1 1/2 inches between the tips of the fingers and the cutter bar. On flex platforms, lower the platform on wood 4x4s prior to making this adjustment. Slat reels should have a minimum clearance of 1 inch between the slat and the cutter bar. If hoses have been disconnected from the cylinder, or if the reel will not remain level with the cutter bar, trapped air must be bled from the cylinder in lines. 2 people are required for this procedure. Open the bleed plug in the cylinder on the right-hand side. Raise the reel and hold the switch until oil is free of air bubbles. Then tighten the bleed plug. The reel is equipped with a fore and aft adjustment. If your platform has a manual system, raise the reel and lower the safety stop on both sides. Remove the pin on both sides, slide the reel to the desired position, and insert the pins. If your platform has the optional hydraulic fore and aft systems, the position of the reel is controlled from the cab. If the cylinders become unevenly extended during operation, rephase them by fully retracting the cylinders and hold the control switch to remove air from the system. If your platform is equipped with a pickup reel, the finger pitch is adjustable. For most crop conditions, the finger should be vertical to the cutter bar. If the pitch is too great, the reel will carry over cut crop. Cut crop must be moved to the underside of the auger and not pushed over the top of the auger. Remove the bolts and loosen the jam nut on both ends of the reel. Turn the adjusting bolt to the desired location. Tighten the jam nut, then install and tighten all hardware. Now, we're ready for the auger and related adjustments. Before making any adjustments, raise the platform until the full weight of the platform and reel are supported by the combine feeder house. The back stripper should be located in the most rearward position in the slot, flush or behind the stripper support. The back stripper and floor stripper must also be located in the proper position on the combine it's used with. The inner ends of the back stripper must align with the edges of the feeder house opening. There are 3 possible locations. To make adjustments, remove all hardware, then reposition the strippers and install and tighten all hardware. Older Maximizer combines had stripper extensions located on the front of the feeder house. If these extensions are on your machine, remove and discard them. Then reposition the back stripper inward to the edge of the feeder house opening. The next step is to position the auger. If the auger is not in the correct location, you will experience crop carrying over the auger and also slug feeding. Adjust the auger height to allow for a minimum clearance of 1/8 inch or 3 millimeters between the auger flighting and the bolt heads on the floor. The auger flighting should have a clearance of 1/4 inch or 6 millimeters to the rear stripper support. The final adjustment should be made to obtain a 1/8 inch or 3 millimeter clearance from the flighting to the rear stripper by moving the stripper forward to the auger flighting. This is done by loosening 3 or 4 nuts at a time and moving the back stripper toward the auger flighting while rotating the auger to obtain a clearance of 1/8 of an inch or 3 millimeters. Then tighten those 3 or 4 nuts. Continue this process throughout the length of the back strippers. Both height and fore and aft adjustments must be made in conjunction with each other. The adjustment of one will affect the other. Remove the coupler chain so the auger is free to rotate. On the right-hand side of the platform, loosen 3 nuts on the chain tightening bracket. Then loosen these 4 nuts. On the left-hand side, loosen these 3 nuts. To raise or lower the auger, position the jam nuts on the eye bolt until the desired height and rear clearance is obtained. Then tighten all the hardware on both sides. Once the auger is positioned, the next adjustment that must be made is the finger timing. This often overlooked adjustment is critical to smooth, even feeding. This adjustment is located on the left-hand side of the platform. Loosen the top and bottom nuts and rotate the casting counterclockwise to extend or clockwise to retract the auger fingers to achieve a dimension of 5/8 of an inch or 16 millimeters to the floor. An auger finger must be perpendicular to the floor while making this measurement. When the auger fingers are at the desired position, tighten all the hardware. It is necessary to recheck the auger fore and aft position after this adjustment. Repositioning may be necessary. The following 4 adjustments are unique to the flexible platform only. The stabilizer's spring tension must be readjusted each time the cutter bar tilt is changed. With the cutter bar locked out, lower the left-hand end of the platform down on a wood 4x4. Dial-o-matic must be turned off. Loosen the jam nut and adjust the bolt to a dimension of 3/8 of an inch between the bolt head and the trunnion. Tighten the jam nut until the spring is compressed to 4 5/8 inches. Then tighten the locking nut. To adjust the cutter case support spring tension, remove the cutter bar lockout bolts and adjust the tensioning bolt until the left-hand end of the cutter bar requires the same lift force as the right-hand end of the cutter bar. Dial-o-matic header height control maintains the proper distance between the platform frame and the ground contour. This assures the floating cutter bar is always within the 3.5-inch float range. In very dry conditions, the platform can climb up and over soybean stubble. Heavy ground pressure is required for a close cut. To adjust the dial-o-matic sensing box for dry conditions, loosen the adjusting bolt and rotate the box counterclockwise. Lower the platform hard against the ground. Turn the dial-o-matic switch in the cab to position 1. Slowly rotate sensing box clockwise until a raise signal is obtained. Then tighten the adjusting nut. In soft or wet conditions, the platform may push or plow dirt because of too much ground pressure. If those conditions are present, the sensing box must be readjusted for light ground pressure. Loosen the adjusting nut and rotate the sensing box clockwise. Turn the dial-o-matic switch in the cab to position 3. Slowly rotate the sensing box counterclockwise until a lower signal is obtained. Then tighten the adjusting nut. The range indicator lets the operator know at a glance where the highest section of the cutter bar is operating within the float range. The closest cut should occur when the indicator is set at 0. To make this adjustment, lower the platform onto wooden 4x4s placed under the right and left-hand tilt channels. The dial-o-matic switch should be in the off position. Loosen the lock nut and turn the screw until the ball is centered on 0. Then tighten the lock nut. The final adjustment, unique to the flex platform, is the floating divider point. Lower the platform to the ground and loosen the nut and turn the adjustment bolt until the head of the bolt touches the bracket. Raise the platform and turn the spring tension adjusting bolt until the divider point can be pushed upward easily and still return to the lower position with the bolt head against the bracket. Well, that completes our platform adjustments, and you should be ready to move on to the necessary combine adjustments. All the basic adjustments in this video are simple and easy to make. The increase you'll see in productivity will be well worth the time you spend making sure your platform is properly adjusted. Remember, before attempting any combine or platform adjustments, always follow all recommended safety precautions that are outlined in your operator's manual. A safe operating practice is always the best rule to follow. Safety, live with it. By taking the time to adjust your platform, you'll help reap the two biggest advantages of the Maximizer Combine: top performance and top quality grain samples. You'll be confident that you're getting full value from your John Deere investment.